Let's get right into it. Number 7. The death of natural selection. Once upon a time, nature was your gym coach. If you couldn't run, fight, or find food, you didn't make the cut. Survival of the fittest wasn't a motto, it was the entire user agreement of life. But fast forward to now, and we've basically turned off that system. You can be allergic to sunlight, terrified of grass, and survive perfectly fine as long as you have Wi-Fi and a delivery app. Human evolution used to be shaped by predators and disease. Now it's shaped by algorithmic recommendation engines. Instead of fighting off wolves, your survival depends on remembering your passwords and not believing fake medical advice on TikTok. Here's the creepy part. Natural selection hasn't disappeared, it's just moved online. Who reproduces now? Not necessarily the strongest, smartest, or healthiest, but the most visible, the most viral, or the most algorithmically blessed. Evolution by engagement. Darwin would have a heart attack. This shift is called cultural evolution, where memes spread faster than genes, and humans, being the adaptable little chaos engines we are now optimizing for attention instead of survival. We're literally evolving to please screens, making exaggerated faces, shorter attention spans, and dopamine addiction part of our new biological package deal. So yeah, natural selection isn't gone. It's just been replaced with whoever can handle the most screen time without losing their sanity. Basically, evolution hit the update button, and now it's running on social media logic. Number 6. Designer babies and digital gods. Remember when parents used to argue over baby names? Yeah, that's cute. In the future, they'll be arguing over which genetic features to enable in the settings menu. Should we give her blue eyes or perfect memory? Do you want him to have empathy or just better math skills? Welcome to the age of designer babies, where evolution stops being random and starts being a subscription service. Thanks to CRISPR and other genetic editing tools, scientists can now cut, paste, and rewrite DNA like a badly formatted Google Doc. We're not just curing diseases, we're customizing humans. On paper, it sounds noble. Who wouldn't want to remove cancer genes or fix hereditary blindness? But once that's possible, you know someone's going to say, what if we made them taller, or prettier, or slightly better at stock trading? And boom, evolution turns into a Black Friday sale. Here's the kicker. If we start controlling evolution, we stop evolving. Mutation and randomness, the messy, chaotic stuff that made humans, get replaced by human choice. And humans are terrible at choice. Remember, these are the same creatures who voted pineapple onto pizza. Now imagine a world split between the genetically enhanced and the naturally born, the optimized and the organic. You don't have to be a sci-fi writer to see where that goes. We're basically creating the next branch of the human species, Homo perfectus, born in a lab, raised by algorithms, and probably way too good at geometry. And if that doesn't scare you, imagine this. The people deciding how we evolve next might be tech billionaires. The same ones who think empathy is an app feature. Basically, evolution's steering wheel just got handed to the same species that still needs warning labels on shampoo. Number 5. The death of natural selection. Here's a weird thought. Evolution used to be brutal, and that's kind of why we exist. Our ancestors survived plagues, predators, starvation, and whatever that weird smell in prehistoric caves was. If you made it to adulthood back then, congrats. You were basically the Olympic gold medalist of not dying. But now, the rules have completely changed. Modern medicine, technology, and social safety nets have basically broken nature's filter. Natural selection, the system that rewards survival and adaptability, is now on permanent vacation. People no longer need to evolve to survive. We just need Wi-Fi and DoorDash. Don't get me wrong, that's great for quality of life. But it also means evolution has stopped optimizing us. In fact, some scientists think we might be de-evolving. Not because we're getting dumber, though, let's be honest, TikTok isn't helping. But because survival no longer requires improvement. We used to adapt to our environment. Now, we make the environment adapt to us. Can't handle cold? Just wear a jacket. Can't run fast? Buy a car. Can't focus for more than 5 seconds? Well, that's what caffeine and notifications are for. The result is this weird evolutionary limbo, a species that's too smart to go extinct and too lazy to improve. Our brains and bodies evolved for a world of danger and scarcity, but now we live in a world of comfort and abundance. It's like having a Formula One car that only drives to the grocery store. And while that sounds chill, it also means that the future of evolution might belong to those who still tinker with their DNA. The genetically enhanced, the cybernetically upgraded, the people who decide to evolve themselves manually. Number 4. The rise of synthetic humans. Picture this. A human so enhanced, they can see infrared light, never get tired, and heal faster than a video game character. Sounds like a sci-fi fever dream, right? Well, congratulations, you've just described the prototype of future humanity. We're slowly blurring the line between biology and technology, and it's getting real weird. Pacemakers were the start. Prosthetics got smarter. Brain implants are being tested. And now, companies are developing synthetic organs, artificial wombs, and even genetically engineered babies. Yeah, build a baby isn't just a nightmare phrase. It's an emerging market. In the near future, we might not even define human by biology anymore. Your DNA? Optional. Your organs? Replaceable. Your emotions? Probably monitored by a neural chip that sends sadness-detected notifications to your therapist. The weirdest part is that this isn't just theoretical. In 2023, scientists grew a synthetic embryo, without sperm, eggs, or a womb, using only stem cells. That's right. We're now making life from scratch like we're cooking up people-flavored ramen. The implications are insane. If synthetic biology keeps advancing, we could start designing humans with perfect immune systems, built-in memory upgrades, and faces that never age. Immortality might not come from living forever, but from being endlessly replaceable. But here's the catch. When everyone can upgrade their body, what happens to the people who don't? Imagine a world where the rich don't just have better houses, they have better genetics. It's evolution, but behind a paywall. So yeah, the future human might not be born, they'll be manufactured, optimized, and debugged like software. And when your body's outdated? No problem. Just upload yourself to version 2.0. Basically, we're evolving past biology and straight into customer service. Number 3. The Mind-Meld Era. Here's a fun question. What happens when your thoughts stop being private? Because the future of evolution might not be about muscles or genes anymore. It's about data. Tech companies are already working on brain-computer interfaces, tiny devices that can read your thoughts and translate them into digital actions. Sounds awesome, right? You could type with your mind, play games hands-free, or literally think a text message. But here's where it gets creepy. Those same devices could also read what you don't want shared. Your crush? Your intrusive thoughts? That one memory from 7th grade you've buried so deep you forgot it exists? Yeah, all that could be stored on a cloud server somewhere. The human brain wasn't designed for Wi-Fi. But if we connect it to the internet, we're basically rewriting what it means to have an independent mind. Imagine your boss syncing your brain to a productivity dashboard, or advertisers buying access to your subconscious preferences. Congratulations. Your thoughts are now ad space. And it's not just privacy, it's identity. If your memories can be backed up and downloaded, are you still you, or just a copy running on better hardware? The line between human consciousness and artificial intelligence starts to blur until, eventually, they might merge. This isn't just evolution, it's assimilation. The moment we plug our brains into the digital hive, we stop being individuals and start being nodes, little data-producing organisms in the network's collective mind. Some scientists even predict a post-human singularity, where the brain and computer fully merge, meaning you could share thoughts instantly with anyone on Earth. You wouldn't need words, languages, or maybe even emotions. Just pure, shared data. It's communication on God mode, but at the cost of privacy, individuality, and maybe even humanity itself. Basically, the next stage of evolution might be when the human mind stops being yours. Number 2. Designer DNA and custom babies. Let's be honest, evolution used to take forever. Nature was like that lazy developer who releases one tiny update every million years. But now, humans have taken over the coding department, and the update logs are getting weird. We're talking about gene editing, the science of rewriting DNA like it's a bad essay draft. Tools like CRISPR let scientists cut, paste, and replace sections of your genetic code with terrifying precision. Want your kid to have perfect eyesight, better muscles, or zero allergies? Done. Want them to be 6 feet 3 inches with Einstein's brain and K-pop hair? Give it a few years. The wild part? This isn't sci-fi anymore. Gene editing has already been used to prevent genetic diseases, and in one controversial case, to create the world's first genetically modified babies. But once you start editing for health, how long before people start editing for status? Because let's face it, rich people are 100% going to make designer kids first. Evolution will stop being natural and start being subscription-based. You won't have to wait generations for humanity to change. You'll just pay for a patch note that says, version 2.0, now with stronger immune system and 20% more charisma. The scary part? Evolution used to have one rule, survival of the fittest. Now it's survival of whoever can afford the latest genetic upgrade. That could split humanity into 2 versions of the same species. The naturals, and the edited ones might not even see us as equals. Imagine a world where job applications ask if your genes are factory standard, or where someone's DNA sequence becomes their social class. Basically, evolution is going from Darwin to Silicon Valley, and the new natural selection might be based on your download speed, not your DNA. So yeah, the future might not be about survival of the fittest, but survival of the richest. Number 1, here's a fun, horrifying thought. At some point, we might not be human anymore. Not metaphorically, literally. The future version of us might look back and say, wow, those early humans were adorable. This is the post-human era, when technology doesn't just assist us, it replaces us. It's the point where evolution hands the wheel to machines and says, good luck, don't crash. Think about it. We're already halfway there. You probably can't go 5 minutes without checking your phone. That glowing rectangle is basically your external memory drive. The next step? Merging it inside you. Neural implants, synthetic organs, digital consciousness uploads. They're not just science fiction buzzwords anymore. They're prototypes. In a few centuries, humans might stop being born in the traditional sense. Instead of evolving through random mutations and natural selection, we'll design ourselves consciously. You could pick your body type like you're customizing a video game avatar. Want titanium bones? Easy. No sleep required? Done. Need to process emotions more efficiently? There's probably a firmware update for that. But here's the existential nightmare. If we replace every part of ourselves, brain, body, instincts, at what point do we stop being human? When does upgrading become replacing? Some scientists think our descendants won't even have physical bodies. They'll live inside digital ecosystems, consciousness floating through vast networks of data, immortal, efficient, and completely alien to what we consider life. It's the ultimate irony. Evolution's goal has always been survival, and in our obsession to survive, we might evolve right out of existence. We'll go from Homo sapiens, the wise human, to something new, something that doesn't eat, sleep, die, or feel pain, and maybe something that doesn't feel at all. Basically, the future of human evolution might not look like us. It might not even remember us.